you lead one of the most competitive fellowships in orthopedics. I'm curious, when you think through match day and you think through kind of where you are from this current fellowship director seat of yours, what are you seeing in this generation of new fellows or applicants, and about why they're choosing your subspecialty? Any concerns or any, we're in really good hands?
I mean, in terms of what I should say we've now seen over the past 15 years, fellowship places were very, concentrated. You and I interviewed at 7 places when I went through. We were one of the first matches back then. It was a gentleman's agreement where you would go interview, and literally it was, well, are you going to take this spot or not? And we'll give it to the next guy if you don't take it in 48 hours. Now that we've gone through the match, it's a little bit different. You actually have some choices. And I think that's always the hard part, is people have moved around. So it's not just concentrated at, say, Rush or HSS or Mayo. Now I think things are a little bit more spread out. And as we've seen the likes of like the Meneghinis and others who have left the academic world, they're still academic, but they're in private. Now we're starting to see people starting to do more of the fellowship stuff, even in the private sector, where financially it was a little bit harder. So it's a little bit harder landscape to navigate because of what I call the changing target, which is, even that we face it, as financial dollars, right? So in the academic world, we're an RVU-based model. And so it's no different in the private world. You have to be able to produce, and that's how things get paid. And so as we try and take the time to teach, it's also hard because the administration, they want us to get a 7 to 8% increase on what we just did this past year. And we go, well, we're pretty tired this past year, so you're telling me I got to be 7% more this next year? Okay, great. We'll go faster, I guess, which is not necessarily the right message. So it's hard. And I don't have the right answer for that part. But the other part I think fellows are looking for, it's a long year. Some it's lifestyle. They want to be in a great location. So if it's New York City or, I chose St. Louis mostly for the hip preservation experience. It wasn't for baseball. I'm not a Cardinals fan. I'm a longtime Cubs fan. So the best thing would be Cubs Yankees. I'll give it to you for that. But for some, if they're a West Coast person, they probably aren't coming to Kentucky. They want some water. And so part of it's also probably regional in terms of where they're looking to go.